Okay, hey guys, I've got, what have I got here? I've got the seven leaves, the 7 plants bitter, and I've also got 7 sweet plants. They're just different herbs that I bought from the market, and I've brewed them into a tea that's been brewing for quite a while now, and I'm just about to have a bathing ritual with that, and apparently this is going to protect me from dark spirits. Hey guys, okay, a little bit of a change of scenery just outside in the garden, and I want to talk to you about my 3rd and final ayahuasca ceremony that I've done while I'm here in the Amazon rainforest. It was kind of, the last video that I did was a little bit rushed, where I was kind of talking to you about my 2nd ceremony, which was extremely traumatic. I had a lot of very, very intense visions, and yeah, I've spoken to some of the people who were there at the ceremony with me about what was happening, and they said that I was convulsing, and I was babbling, I was shouting. I was walking around, stumbling, and then I fell on the ground, hit my head on the ground, which is how I got this scratch on my nose. And they had to basically give me ortiga, which is stinging nettles. So they like hit you with the stinging nettles, it brings you back into your body. So they had to kind of like lift my t-shirt up to do that. Apparently they had like 4 or 5 different guys holding me down, which is probably why, you know, I said in the video before, like, I thought I was about to be gang raped or something like that. And I think, yeah, if you got like 4 or 5 guys holding you down and you're not really with it, it's normal that you might think that. And they were like, yeah, you were very strong, you were kicking them, you were kicking the guys. It's just like, well, wouldn't you? If 5 guys are holding you down and you're not with it, you would fucking kick them as well. So yeah, that's what was happening. I don't think they realised that that's kind of what was going through my head. And I was talking to a friend about this, and he goes, are you sure that, you know, you probably like, so, you know, you drink the brew, you're so open, you're so receptive to all the energies around you. If there was anybody there that even had, you know, a little bit of an intention towards you, maybe you were picking up on that. But I think it doesn't even have to be like that, you know. If you've got people holding you down and you don't know what the fuck's going on, it's normal you're going to think that. But yeah, it's been like a few days since that really traumatic ceremony, and I find that like every day that goes by, I'm forgetting a lot of it, but like I'm also remembering bits of it. And like when I woke up this morning, I remembered some of the visions from that ceremony, and yeah, I know now why I was so terrified. It was a lot of snakes, but not, they were like digital snakes. They were like sacred geometry snakes, like going down these stairs like this in this kind of pattern, and with eyes and tongues sticking out. And it was kind of like Pachamama was like, and the spirits that she had helping her, whoever they, like plant spirits, they were just like, you know, we can show you everything, but you have to surrender to it. You have to trust us. And I was like, okay, I'll surrender. Show me everything. And then it was just like, are you ready for the truth? And it kept on going over with, are you ready for the truth? And the truth was like all this fucking sacred geometry, all these eyes, all these, you know, stairs, and like this sound, like this ding, 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 and all, they're like moving to the music. And it was just like, are you ready for the truth of who you are? Like, you are everything. You are the universe. And all these lines of like sacred geometry were connecting me to everything in the universe, like every single person that you can think of, every plant, every animal. And it was just like, when you grasp this concept, that's it. You will understand everything when you grasp the idea that you are everything. There's no one else. There's only you. This is you. This is who you are. This whole universe is you. You created everything. Can you understand that? And I would try and grasp the idea, and it would be like, yes, yes, you're getting it. And then as soon as I would grasp that idea, it was like, bah, 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 bah. oh my God, like this is too big for me to understand, because I was still aware of being in my physical body, of being sundial, of being this limited being, not an eternal consciousness that is everything. And it was just so much. It was so much for my brain to handle. It was, yeah, like I said before, swimming through the Akashic records, knowing everything that I am, everything that we are, and, you know, more than just human. I'm more than just human. I'm everything. We are everything. We're all one. And it just called to mind this idea that you are completely alone in the universe. But at the same time, you're never alone, because you are always with yourself. And you are everything. And you are love. But you need to understand this. You need to understand this concept. And trying to grasp that concept was a lot for me to take at that time, because it was scary. Like, I was lost in the world of ayahuasca, and the visions were very intense. They were very... It wasn't like a beautiful place. It was quite... There was a real darkness to it. It was quite hellish, actually. I think maybe I was in hell. I don't know. I don't know. It's still coming to me. I'll probably keep talking about it for a long time, because that place and the things that I learned in that place are so big. And yeah, like I was talking to some of the girls about it. It felt like I wasn't there for that long, but apparently I was on the ground screaming and tripping out for about 4 hours while they were trying to calm me down and stuff. So yeah, like the final ceremony, Taita Juan Carlos said to me, please come, we'll do a ceremony in the daytime. And I was just like, honestly, Juan Carlos, I'm so scared. I feel like when I was there, I thought I wasn't going to ever come back. I thought I was going to be lost in that world. And I'm scared that if I go back there, then I'll get lost and I won't come back. And he goes, no, I want to help you. Like, and I know that you need to do this, and you need to... And it's true, like, he's right. Like, I felt like if I didn't do it again, then I probably would have been too scared to come back and try this again. But actually, I just feel like this is the start of my journey. Not just with ayahuasca, like, I want to try some of the other like plant medicines as well, like peyote, iroga, and see what they have to tell me as well. Because I've got so much more clarity on my mission here now, since coming here. And it's, even though I know I have to go back to like real life, I'm going to go back with a new perspective. I've definitely taken a part of the jungle with me. But yeah, the third ceremony we did during the day, and it was still quite intense, and it was still a little bit traumatic, but nowhere near as traumatic as the second ceremony. I went into it, and when I started getting the visuals, the first thing that I saw was, I closed my eyes and I could see myself lying in the hammock. You know, just looking at myself in the hammock. And in front of me, I was holding a device, like a mobile phone, and I was like on it, and I was connecting with people. And I was just like, why am I seeing this? Is this trying to tell me that, like, you know, I'm addicted to social media or something? But then the associations that were being made with me doing this were not negative. It was just like, no, this is, you know, this is what you do, and you're doing what you need to do. This is how you're connecting with the world, because this is how humans are currently connecting. We've created this technology to be able to mimic what our minds can naturally do. We can naturally communicate with each other all over the planet, telepathically, but we've lost that ability. We've closed it off. So, you know, we create this technology to try and mimic that effect so that we can communicate with each other, so that we can, you know, share our experiences and our stories with each other, because that's what it means to be human. It means to, you know, learn from each other. So that's the medium that I'm using, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm okay with that, and that's what was coming to me in the vision, that that's what I should continue doing. Then I closed my eyes and I started to see more visions. I started to see the outline, and then it became clearer, of an Amazon Indian shaman, and he had a headdress on. It was very similar to one headdress that I saw when I was in Virginia at the American Indian Museum, and he was holding some sort of, I think it's like a rattle or something, he was holding it, and then there were two serpents moving around him. The visuals that I got during the third ceremony were much more organic than the second ceremony. The second ceremony was very geometric, very geometric. Even though there were serpents, they were moving in like a very sort of angular way, like stairs, like this. Even the first ceremony that I did, which wasn't so visual, like there were these white lines that were also doing this kind of moving down these, like in a stair formation, like serpent-like. But this time I saw very distinct serpents, like much more like a real animal. And then even when I opened my eyes, I could see everything around me. It was just teeming with life and fractals and serpents and plant energies. And I started to lose myself. I started to lose awareness of my physical body. And I started to feel like I was getting lost in the plant spirit world. And I don't know, I kept on saying, Pachamama, please show me. My intention for this ceremony was to learn how to manage my fears, because this is what some of the other people had said to me. They were just like, you need to not be afraid of the spirits because they're trying to show you something. So I was just like, okay, Pachamama, please show me how to not be afraid. And I was still afraid, but not in a screamy kind of way. Like, you know, the second ceremony, I was screaming all kinds of things. I was screaming, you're being called, because that's what I was hearing in my head. You're being called to awaken. You need to wake everyone else up. We need to awaken. I needed to, in the second ceremony, I was being shown that I needed to harness my female sexuality, because that's the source of my power, and not give it away easily. I need to make contracts with the divine masculine, but with the divine masculine, not just with anybody who embodies masculine energy, because sometimes, you know, as those who embody feminine energy, we sometimes make contracts with those who embody toxic masculinity, and then we complain, and then we're like, oh, what's wrong with men, blah blah blah. There are many men who embody divine masculine, and women who embody divine masculine, and we need to make contracts with them. And we do, when we share our sexuality, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to have sex with everybody, or with anybody even. Like, sharing your sexuality is not sharing sex. It's your sexual energy is your creativity. So it was a lot about that. But some of the visions were sexual, and one of the girls who was helping me, she said to me afterwards, she was just like, I didn't tell anybody that I heard you say this, but a couple of times you shouted out, you don't know how to seduce. And that was a bit embarrassing. I don't know where that came from, and I don't know whether I was talking to men or whether I was talking to myself. I mean, that was something that one of my ex-boyfriends said to me once, that I don't know how to seduce, which is just total bullshit. It's, you know, I do know how to seduce. He was just did not have a libido, and he just wanted me to be very, very submissive to him. So he used to say that. So that might have been something that, you know, maybe hurt me on a subconscious level, him saying that to me, and maybe that was what I was expressing. But I don't know, maybe it will come clearer to me in time. But yeah, the visions are slowly coming back to me. And this morning when I woke up, I suddenly remembered some of the visions, and then immediately realised why I had forgotten them, because it's so scary, so scary. Like seeing all these geometric snake-like creatures with eyes and tongues basically telling me to purge myself. It's pretty scary. It's like you're lost in this world of like hallucinogenic plant spirits that are just literally taken over your body. They've literally, you've taken them into your body, you've consented to let them move through your body, and they're taking over. They're basically purging you of, you know, whatever toxins you're holding on to, and that's quite terrifying, knowing that you're no longer in control of your body. So, you know, my advice to anybody who is going to do this ceremony, like definitely make sure that you trust the people around you. Not that, you know, things can happen, and there have been stories about people, you know, bad things happening to people during these ceremonies, but I don't think most titers are going to be, or shamans are going to be that unprofessional that they would take advantage of somebody who is, you know, out of it. But the reason why I say that is because when you are in that, when you are tripping and getting the visuals, you need to feel safe. You need to feel safe, because if you don't feel safe, then you will be scared, or you might be scared. So it's, and I think part of it was because I did feel quite isolated, because I don't really speak English. I mean, because I speak English and I don't really speak Spanish very well. So, and I didn't want to just keep on like bothering people, like if I was having a bad trip, especially if I am not able to communicate with them in their language. So I was just kind of like, no, I can handle this myself. I'm okay, like I can handle the visuals. But obviously I couldn't. I should have just, when it started to get a bit much, I should have just said to the Taita, like, can you please help me out here? There's things that they can do. They can give you nettles, they can blow tobacco smoke on you, that kind of cleanses your energy, and it can stop you from seeing certain visions. So yeah, just understand that before you go in. Like, I definitely would recommend that if you are coming to the Amazon to do it, that you learn a little bit of Spanish, so that you can communicate with the shamans here and with the other people. But yeah, the third ceremony, I started to get quite scared, and I was crying, and I made sure I never lost consciousness or anything like that, like I did in the second ceremony. I started to feel a bit like I was getting lost in the vision, and I didn't know where I ended and the plant spirits began. It was like they were just moving through me, and I just kept on saying, Pachamama, please, I don't want to get lost in the world of plant spirit. I don't want to be absorbed by, I felt like I was becoming absorbed by the jungle, and that I was not going to come out of it, and I wasn't going to come back to myself. And Pachamama and her helpers were just saying, look, you won't get lost, but you need to know who you are. You are the universe, but you are in this body right now, and you need to decide what you want from your life. What do you want to know from us? What is your question? When you decide what it is that you want to know and what you want to manifest, then the energy of the universe will move through you to help you manifest that, but you have to make the decision. My problem is I'm always leaving myself open to the universe. I am always never making plans until the last possible minute, just in case I change my mind. And yeah, just not really making decisions about how I want my life to be. I mean, modelling has kind of made me like that, because everything's very last minute, so you kind of have to, making plans is quite difficult. And sometimes you get last minute jobs coming in and things like that. So I've always been, like, since I started modelling, I've always not really been a person that plans very much or makes like forward planning decisions for myself. But what I got from this ceremony was that I have to start deciding how do I want my life to be, where do I want to live, what kind of career do I want, you know, what do I want to be doing in like 2 months, and start working towards it, start making a plan, start asking the universe to assist me. Because I know now that I am a conduit for the divine. We all are. The universe moves through us and will help us manifest anything that we need to manifest, if it's for the good of all. Like, that's what we're here to do. We're here to kind of create a better world for ourselves and for each other. But we have to decide how we want to do that, and what gifts we want to use. And so you can't just let the entire universe move through you and manifest everything. You have to make a decision. Otherwise, you would literally just be pure consciousness. You would just be source. You would just be the big one, I am. But we're not. We're small expressions. So we have to get specific. So I have to have a think about what I want and what I want to achieve, and get really concrete with it. And I have started to think about that. You know, where I want to go in terms of work, how I want to share my gifts with the world, how I want to create a better world, how I want to do business mindfully, consciously, ethically, all those kinds of things, and make the best use of my creativity and my gifts, and, you know, create something beautiful. What else? Yeah, it was funny. There was another girl there, a German girl, who just arrived, and she was having some trouble. She was just like, oh, how do I make the vision stop? You know, I want to be done with it. Like, you know, I feel like I'm never gonna come out of this. Like, you know, I feel like I'm just gonna get lost in this. And I was just like, yeah, I feel like that too, but don't worry, you'll be fine. And she's just like, really? And then she was just like, can I still go back to my normal life? It was so cute. She was freaking out a little bit. So the Taita gave her Artiga stinging nettles. And then she was just like, I don't know, like, I want to go back to my normal life. And I was just like, well, you'll go back to your normal life, but you will be different. Like, that's why you came here. You took the plant brew, you take Pachamama into you, and she'll show you something. She'll give you some guidance, and then you go back to your normal life, but you'll be improved. And then suddenly she was just like, and just vomited. And I was just like, well, trying not to laugh. It is quite funny. Like, it was good because even though I cried like a fucking baby during my visions, they didn't last that long. I was on the hammock and then both Titans came up to me, asked me if I was okay. They gave me some perfume to ward off any like bad entities or any like bad spirits. Taita Juan Carlos gave me a crystal, like a big quartz, and that really, really helped. And yeah, the crying felt like a detoxification. It felt like a purging. I felt like I was releasing my fears and my worries and just trusting the plant medicine to tell me what it needed to, and trusting the process. And just knowing that I'm safe and protected. And then after that, I was just free to enjoy the rest of the day. I could have done another cup, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to leave it where it was. I mean, I was still... It's nice doing it in the day because you can see the rainforest all around you, and it's much more intensified. It's not quite like doing psilocybin, magic mushrooms. They're a bit more intense visually when you look at the normal world. Ayahuasca is more intense visually, like the visions you get when you see things that, not things that aren't there, because they are there, but they're just, you're seeing into a different dimension. Whereas with psilocybin, you're seeing things that are there, but you're seeing into a different dimension, but it's overlaid over the world. So if I start looking at this grass, I'll start seeing details of the grass that I can't see when I'm in this 5 sense reality, when I'm on magic mushrooms. But with the ayahuasca, it's not as intense as that. Well, it depends. I mean, at the moment that, you know, my visions calmed down a bit, I was just looking at everything, and everything was very colourful and very 3D, but not as much as magic mushrooms. And then I decided to take a walk off into the forest and go, there were some jungle fowls, pollo, chickens, and I decided to follow them and see where they were going. And they led me down to this little brook where like two waterways kind of converged into one, and I kind of bathed my feet in there for a bit, sat down. There was eagles flying over me, and like butterflies, dragonflies. It was so beautiful, so beautiful. I'm so glad I did that third ceremony, because I definitely want to come back here and do some more ceremonies at a later date. But I feel for now I kind of need to process what I've learned. And just, yeah, it's just so magical, just knowing that there is a higher intelligence out there, the higher intelligence of plants. And all this time, we humans have acted like we are the highest intelligence on the planet. But what I learned from the plant is that Mother Ayahuasca is alive, you know. Pachamama, she is our mother. We are her children. She is Mother Earth. She's been here much longer than we have, and she's much smarter than we are. She knows so much more than we are about ourselves, about our place in the cosmos, about our place on this planet. Like, we think we're the fucking shit, but we're not. We're just organisms. We're like ants, you know? Or like cells in like a big organ. Like, she is the organism and we are the little cells that make her up, you know? And that is humbling. It's very, very humbling to realize that we're just part of it. We're just part of each other. We're just little animals. And just the whole idea that I thought I was going to get lost and swallowed up by the jungle. The next day when I woke up, and my cabin's, I mean, you've seen my cabin, it's pretty open. Like, there's no, you know, one side is just completely open to the rainforest. And, you know, there's bugs all night, there's bugs flying through my room, like huge ones, like huge moths and butterflies, dragonflies, crickets, everything. Like last night there was like a little cricket just on my bed, just sitting next to me, and I was playing with it. So if you're kind of squeamish about creepy crawlies, then maybe you wouldn't like it here. But yeah, I kind of really like being one with nature. I've been walking around barefoot. I've been woken up every morning by the sound of, you know, torrential rain, because, you know, it's a rainforest, it rains here. And then getting up, going out into the garden, and going to cook in the kitchen. The kitchen's all completely open to the elements. It's outside, and just eating plant foods. Like, you can't really you can get processed foods here, but I haven't seen anybody eating them. Everybody here has just been eating. I've seen some people eating meat, but most people have just been eating like vegetables and rice and stuff. So you really feel like you are one with the nature. You're showering under rainwater, like the water that comes through the shower is rainwater from the rainforest. It's not even heated, and yeah, just walking around barefoot, eating the plants that grow from the ground, you know, excreting and giving your waste product back to the earth. You know, when I was purging the brew back into the forest, I felt like the plants were saying, yes, give that back to us, we'll deal with it, because we are one with nature. But when we're in cities, we are so disconnected from that, so disconnected, and that's why we've lost our way. That's why we're experiencing so many problems on this planet, because we have forgotten that we're part of nature. Yeah. Just looking at these little ants walking around, and an eagle just flew overhead. Okay, so I am leaving for Medellin tomorrow night, so today is my last full day here. I've got to do some laundry, and I also want to go up to Fin Del Mundo, the waterfall here, so I better go because it's getting on now. I think it's almost 11 or something. But yeah, it was wonderful to talk to you all. I'm so glad that you guys are here watching along with the journey, joining the journey. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are joining along on my journey and that you've been listening to what I have to say. If you guys have had experience with these plant medicines, please share your experience in the comment section below. If you have any questions, or you want advice, or if you want any contact details, like the hostel that I stayed at, or if you want the details of the titers that I've been working with here, send me a private message on Facebook or Instagram, and I will happily help you. Yeah, because I want everybody to kind of experience this and kind of find their purpose. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. One love.